Good morning, everyone. I really ought to say some things before I come live on Sunday mornings, but Mum's usually at church and Dad's usually in the shower when I come down, so I don't really see anyone. Although I have spoken to Gianna, but my voice is really croaky. Fox is here. Hello, Peeps. Hello. Elena says, good morning, lovely Shana Peeps. Good morning. Jenny Hay says, I'm guessing that was meant. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I had an email to say I've gone live, so that's good. Caroline says, happy Sunday, Peeps. Hello. Jenny says, evening from Australia, not Good evening. Nimue says, hello, everyone. I'm at work today, but having an early lunch. Nice. And Sonia says, hi from Australia. Good evening, Sonia. So, yes, I said I was going to be doing a bit of a fabric DeStash today because I have a bunch of stuff behind me that I love. I really love, but it's been there for a very long time, and honestly, I'm probably not going to make it up. Or if I do, I'm probably not going to end up loving it. So I thought I would have a look through and pull out some of my fabrics that are just not right for me and aren't inspiring me anymore. And yeah, I'm probably going to do the same thing that Rachel does and set up an Instagram account and sell them on there. I was planning on doing it on my shop, and I might still do that. I'm still hopefully on track to launch the website at the beginning of December. That's the plan. But I'm not sure I want to wait that long to destash the fabric, is what I'm thinking. Joker Clee says, attempts to avoid swallowing his face. Morning, folks. Good morning. Rotten Ralph says, morning, Peeps. It's 6:29 Eastern Time, and why am I awake? I don't know. Why are you awake? She woke me up this morning. She is not enjoying the new blind because obviously cats are crepuscular. I think that's the correct term. They're the most active at the dawn and dusk of the day. And she's not getting to appreciate the dawn because the blackout blind is amazing. It is making me sleep longer, which is good because I'm struggling to get to sleep, but I don't know if that's because I'm sleeping in later in the morning. So going to bed at my usual time and just lying there being like, and now sleep. I don't know if that's what's going on there, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Mary Ellen says early morning from Rochester, New York. Good morning. Laura says good morning, everyone. Good morning. Joker Clear says morning, Ralph. Nimue says let the fabric fondling begin. And Jojo says hello all. I hope you're all well. Happy Sunday. Yes, you too. Ralph says morning to Joker Clears. Elena says it's only 2 weeks until December. I know. How did that happen? I spent last night redrafting the Holston skirt. I think I've done it, but yeah. I went down many different routes. I started with my blog, and then the A-line skirt that resulted from swinging the dart around and closing the dart had curved sides, because of course it did. And when I made that into a 31-inch long skirt, it was huge, and this pattern relies on straight lines at the side seam. Well, the center front and center back as the pattern would have it, but for me, side seams. So I changed my mind and tried a half circle skirt, and that was even bigger because of course it was. So I tried drafting a quarter circle skirt, and that wasn't going to work. So I went back to my block and just straightened off the sides, which I'm not sure that didn't occur to me before, and lengthened it again. And then it was just like, that's really big. So I narrowed it down. So I've got 6 inches around my hips, which is bigger than the skirt intended, but I think is going to look better on me. And then I had to work out all the add-on, and then the add-on, when I cut it off, it didn't go on the way I thought it would, the other side. So then I had to, like that curve at the bottom. I think I've done it. I think I've done it, but I don't know. So, yeah, and trying to film that process without a completely overhead mounted camera, I don't think the footage is gonna be very clear, so I think I'm gonna voice over that bit or maybe do, like, a small scale one where I try to show you what I did with it. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but it's meant to be Tuesday's video. I might have to try and do a chatty video for Tuesday. I might do a pattern clear out because I haven't done one of those for a while. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, right, let's do the chat. What Matt says, clear the cubbies. Cubbies. Sorry, guys. I've been having a really bad pain week. I haven't filmed anything for the Patreon waffle. I've got very little done this week. I mean, that's not technically true. I've sewn the lace dress. I've sewn the Butterick pansy dress. That's finished. I knew this fabric needed to be a dress. I'm so glad I didn't turn it into a shirt. It's so pretty. And I was sewing the zip in during the Patreon hangout, the Zoom call. Will you look at that? I mean, usually mine are pretty good, maybe off by like, like half a millimeter or something, but will you look at that? And it had 2 points. Yeah, it had 2 match points. And that was while I was chatting with the Patreon peeps on the Zoom call. So like maybe I need them to distract me whilst I sew things. So yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I didn't turn that fabric into a shirt because it would never have been worn. But I did get that that and the lace dress done this week. So yes. Yes. Elena says, did you have fun with it? Yes. Always fun. Joker says, ninjas, random fabrics while Sean's distracted by Ralph. No. Nimue says, oh, sorry, what Ralph says, my blackout window vinyls are delightful. Enjoy the sleep. Yeah. Oh, enjoy the sleep. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Although Chiana does get very upset because the blackout blinds, I need curtains to go around the corners as well because they obviously there's tiny little gaps of light, but it's way better. Also, I can keep it lowered so that because before the angle, the way that the sun comes into my room is like directly into my eyeballs whilst I'm trying to work. So it's always been this kind of like all around the room trying to not get sun directly in my eyes. And now I can just lower the blind, and it's still, if it's bright sunshine like that, it's still really light in the room, but it's not directly in my eyeballs. So that's nice. That's nice. Anyway, says definitely sounds like a toile in non-precious fabric is in order. Yes, this one, which is what is technically meant to be the final fabric, but this is a denim remnant that I got from Lady McElroy's remnant sale December last year, so it was 50% off, and I don't want to make that out of calico. I'm just going to go for it with this fabric and hope for the best, because as I say, this wasn't, I think this was £15 for 3 meters. So oh, excuse me, hang on. See, this is the thing as well, I don't have a cough, but what is going on with my voice? Is that better? Is that, oh, it is kind of better, sort of better. I'm falling apart, guys. Yeah, this is my wearable muslin fodder. It's readily available. It's technically, I'm not sure if it's not my color. Let me get my color swatch. Have a look. I bought my by Annie Power Trip pattern. As you guys see, I did not pay 370. It's not that one. No. So technically it's not on my color wheel, this blue or bluey green. It's like it's kind of a mix between that one and that one. I like this color a lot. It's called Kingfisher, and it's a stretch denim from Lady McElroy. I think it's stretch. It feels like it's stretch. Yeah. So I'm going to really interface the waistband. But yeah, I am going to make up that in this, because the thing that I think might be off on this is actually the hem. I think the shaping and the seaming is spot on. I think the hem might not be level, because I was trying to work out how I got the hem the same length on the kind of like add-on on the corner, and I thought I'd worked it out, but when I put it together it was like, that's not right. So I've kind of like eyeballed it, and I think it's right, and it looks kind of like the original pattern pieces because I've still got those. So I was, checking against the two. I was thinking I was just going to be able to draft the top bit and then like cut the bottom bit off and smoosh it on and then not have to worry about how the hem works. Nah. I think that's where I went wrong, because I just started making life more difficult for myself, and I was just like, this is making my brain hurt. And then it was like, well, why don't you draft it from scratch, which is what you were going to do anyway. So so yeah, but that's what I'm going to just do it out of this fabric, which is this afternoon's task. Cut that out. Like I say, it's supposed to be Tuesday's video, so I'm going to cut it out this afternoon and start sewing it this afternoon and tomorrow, and then we will see if I can finish it, which I should be able to do, because theoretically it's so I've added a centre back seam this time, because the what they class as the centre front and centre back seams, you end up with the fullness coming from your crotch and your butt, and I didn't like that, so when I switched it to the side, liked that. But it did mean that I had to bias bind the edges of the seams because they needed to have a zip in there, so I put a centre back zip in instead. So I've got to sew that first, then sew the two side seams, then sew the waistband on, then level the hem, and then it's done. I'm not going to line this one. I don't think I'm going to leave it unlined, because it's an experiment and my lining fabric is more expensive than this. And if it goes wrong, I don't want to have wasted my lining fabric. Although I would have cut a standard half circle skirt as a lining. And in fact, I probably would have done the Butterick 6380 as a lining, which is I think what I did last time, which does not take a lot of fabric, and could be used for another dress. So maybe. Ron says ninja fabric should never be random. Elena says you need to rest. I do, but that's why I'm sleeping in as much as my body's asking me to. I generally and always have sort of started work at midday, and then I work late into the evening, because that's always been my preference. I've never been a morning person. I've always been a night owl. So I'm not pushing myself in the sense that I'm working like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. days kind of thing. I'm doing midday till whenever I finish in the evening, usually because I'm tired. But this year has been so pants money wise, and November and December are the best months of the year, and therefore the busiest months of the year, that I can have my holiday on the 25th of December onwards, which is fine. It's totally fine. I was expecting this. I know this was going to happen. It's not my, my body's just like, haha, pain. Like, no, goddamn you, no. But, it's just one of those things. And I have ways of coping. Medicinal chocolate. This stuff is amazing. It is 70% dark chocolate as well. So Yeah, this stuff is really, really good. Although I do need to go and buy more of it because I think I have 2 cubes left. Obviously, all of the painkillers that I can take on strict rotation. And my pens machine is helping. But yeah, fun times. Fun times. I mean, if my body turns around and says, you know, you absolutely cannot work at this pace for this long a time, I will listen to it. I won't kill myself doing this, obviously, but this is the busiest time of year, so I need to capitalize on that because January and February are going to be utterly pants, and the rest of this year has been utterly pants. So you know, I don't have the buffer that I had last year coming into January. So yeah, fun times, fun times. Joker Clee says, shush now, I'm trying to make it look random. Lol. Ralph says, small scale like Gertie did for the Maria dress. That's beautiful. Perfect zipper installation. And to Joker Clee's, excellent. Yeah. No, I haven't tried it on that dress yet. I know it fits because I've made a lot of them now. And I have fabric here for a lot more because it takes so little fabric. And I absolutely love it. Yeah, and then I've got my bias binding left over because I made bias binding from the scraps. I've made 1 scrunchie bias binding, and that might be getting packaged up and sent out to certain Patreon peeps for their yearly present a little bit later this month. So yeah. So Kate says, wow, that pansy dress is amazing, and the seam matching chef's kiss. Thank you. Yes, I was very pleased with myself for that one. Jojo says, cool, blimey, look at those match seams. Are gorgeously done. Thank you. Rotten Mouse says the edges make Chi aware of the sunlight. Yeah, I know. And then she goes up and she starts plucking at the blind. And that's the problem because I can sleep through her doing most things. But when she starts actively destroying things, I react, and I know that's the problem, and it makes her do it more because she's like, aha, that gets the reaction that I want. I did wake up in the middle of the night the other night. I've taken to sleeping in the middle of my bed now. I've got a king size bed. I was sleeping on one side, and it was like, why? Why? So then I started sleeping diagonally across the bed, and now I'm sleeping right in the middle of the bed. But I woke up the other morning. Well, it wasn't morning. It was the middle of the night. It was like 3 a.m. But it was this really soft paw, like on my nose, and I'd forgotten to put some food in her food bowl before I'd gone to bed. She wasn't destroying anything. She was just very she's like this. It's like I wake up, there's like a fluff monster right there. It's like, hi. So when she wakes me up like that, I tend to get up and go to the bathroom. So I get up and leave the room when she does those kinds of things, and then I come back, and then I will possibly sometimes fill up her food bowl if it needed. So it's not the immediate reaction. It's not that she does this and she gets food. The immediate reaction she does wakes me up at night. I leave the room. So I usually need to pee anyway, so it's all right. But still, yeah. Jenny Pin says, morning peeps, I feel for you. I've been battling a nasty virus this week, like sinusitis with earache, headache, and with a nasty cough. Had a sofa day yesterday with both cats. Nice for the sofa day, not the sinusitis. You poor thing. I hope you'll feel better. Joker Clee says, yeah, I know the froggy sounds all too well. Our house can go so dry so fast. I can go from normal to sounding like I'm chewing on gravel in about 0.0005 seconds. Lol, that is fast. Rotten Ralph says, I might need to post a TikTok via Tumblr to the Peeps group regarding the sleep. Be right back. Okay. Julie Elizabeth says, hello from Virginia. Cold this morning, but good weather predicted for later. Nice. Jojo says, there are phone lines that pay handsomely for that kind of voice. Bit of extra Christmas pin money. Lol. Yeah. Joker Clee says, I've always said, if mornings are so great, why don't they start at noon? Lol. Yes. Yes. And because I usually tend to work down here quite so late, I tend to have my evening in the morning when I get up. So I will kind of like just relax and indulge in like lying in bed with a hot chocolate. I haven't had hot chocolate for 2 months. My hot chocolate calendar arrived, and it is taking me all of my willpower to not crack into it immediately. I want the chocolate. Soon, like you say, less than 2 weeks. Um, cute cat video posted to the Peeps group. Where's my phone? Oh, where are I? Oh, I found it. Let's have a look. Cute kitty videos. Really must work on my posture as well. I've been watching some of my videos back recently. I knew it was Darcy. Sorry, I didn't want to say Darcy just in case I got it wrong, Rotten Ralph, but Darcy, thank you. Yeah, I've been watching some of the time lapses back of videos, and like I seem to be just chewing on nothing quite a lot of the time, and I'm wondering if that's where some of the pain's coming from, or I wonder if it's because I'm in more pain. That's why my jaw is like, I'm just working my jaw more. It's interesting watching videos back. I know I sometimes fold my top lip to the point where I make it sore in the middle, and I actively have to stop myself doing that. But I'm just wondering, like watching back those time lapses, because they have been filmed during a pain spike where I am really quite noticeably kind of like doing things with my face. It's obviously sped up in time lapse is hilarious, but it's one of those things. It's like, which came first? Was the pain first and then the extra jaw movement, or is it the extra jaw movement that's causing the pain? Sorry, cat video. I agree. No, 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 no.
EBs to sleepy, mibsile sleepy and need bed by time. The missile is currently experiencing critical levels of being a sleevagey little guy and needs to go to bed. He is very tired and needs to sleep. Just a little sleeping time is a treat. Midsalilele needs to sleep. Vertoir boyo, just a little guy. Mipsipalibile needs his beady sleep. Look at him go. He yawned because he's skeegey. Needs to falafel asleep. Nini time, good night, Mr. the Missile.
It's so cute. You guys need to go watch that on Facebook. Natalie says, good morning. Michelle says, morning peeps, hope you're all having a great Sunday. Very good, thank you. How's you? And Moy says, I'm an evening person as well and had to get up early too often lately. Looking forward to Monday because it's been 13 days leaving the house in a row. That's way too much peopling for November. Yeah. Inari says, good morning, and then I will fall back asleep. Thank you for checking in and sleep well. Darcy says, I need my fellow peeps to share my vocabulary so that when I say Missile needs to sleep with chin and pins, I'm sorry, feel better soon. So when I say that Missile needs to use the sleep. Elena says, I'm destashing all my baby and toddler clothes today. It's making me so extra emotional. Are you keeping any for like a baby quilt, a baby clothing quilt? I did, a friend of mine asked me to make one for her friend, so a friend of a friend. And I said, sure, but I quoted her 450 quid to make it. And they were horrified. And I was just like, that's paying me like £10 an hour. That's no profit. Like, no, I'm not doing it for free. It's hours of work. But it is slightly different when it's your own, and it doesn't obviously have to be very big. But yeah, are you keeping any for a clothing quilt? Darcy says, wearing a corset helps me to maintain my posture. You might be working the sore area because of pain. Yeah, that's another reason I really want to try and get my corset to fit me comfortably, because I actually have marks on my shoulders and here from my bras, and my bras fit well, before anyone says anything. They do fit well. Yeah, words are hard. Yeah, I do think a corset would help me with that. I remember when I was wearing my bunny corset, like I was able to kind of curl up on the sofa and read books and things like that. But because it was all spiral steel boning, which is what I'm intending to use, obviously apart from the centre back and the busk. But I think maybe the corset will help with the posture. Yeah. So we shall see. Sue says, morning all. What have I walked into? Not much at the moment. Gin and Pinster said, Jojo, I know you like weird words. I had a couple of pieces of spinning equipment delivered yesterday, a nostopine and a niddy noddy. I think being such an old craft keeps names. I'm thinking being such an old craft keeps names. Words are hard. I can do this. Rotten Rouse says, Nimue needs to rest. Yes. Too much peopling in November. Eleanor says, nope, too much effort and planning, and I'm taking it all to a family who now has a 4-day-old baby boy. Cute. Eleanor says they will have clothes for at least the next 2 to 3 years. Oh, that's nice. Joker Clue says, okay, it's been a far too busy week with a surprise extra trip to Winnipeg for another MRI for my wife. That's 2 this week. Up far too early yesterday. I need to sleep before I go feed goose. Sleep well. Sleep well. Jojo says, I's a sleepy little guy who needs to go bed soon. Needs to go bed too. Oh, don't talk about sleeping because I might actually just fall asleep and just lie here. And that'll be a really interesting live stream for you guys, wouldn't it? Right. Oh, okay. So we all know how I was having dramas with my printer. Oh, hello. And I am going to the other thing, I haven't been paid yet this month because the company that I use to transfer my money from America to the UK want me to verify my ID, even though I've been using them for 6 years. And I get it. It's a good thing to verify every couple, like I think it's been every 2 years that I've had to prove who I am. But it's my company bank account. So the company bank account has the house name on it and number and stuff like that. It comes to this address, but it is got my company name on it. And it doesn't have my personal name on it. So I sent them a photo of the bank statement because it has to be a bank statement. That's fine. It has to be the bank statement that I use with the Payoneer account. Totally fine. Again, same one that I've been using for 6 years now. And last time I could send them the bank statement and my driver's license, which also has my address on it, which obviously tie up. So I did that this time and they're like, no, the bank statement itself needs to have your name on it. So I've rung my bank and I'm like, look, please, may I have this? And they're like, yeah, sure. You need to write us a letter. I'm like, you're kidding? And they're like, no. I was like, I've literally jumped through every security hoop. I can read you off my transactions. Like, I am the person that, like every single security question they could have asked me, I'd answered. They're like, yeah, you need to write us a letter because we need your signature. Like, okay. She's like, but you can write the letter and then take a photo of it and email it to us. I'm like, okay. So I've done that, and I did that on the 7th of November. And I chased them the other day. I chased them on Thursday, and they're like, yes, we've received it. It's with admin, but we haven't done anything about it yet. And I was like, look, I've not been paid yet. I need to get the bank statement with my name and company name on it, please. ASAP, because the company that I have my money sent to, because PayPal charge an incredibly large amount of money, but Payoneer do not, which is why it's been set up with that. The difference is in the tens of dollars for the level that I'm at, sort of like $40, $50 difference, which makes a big difference. So that's why I use the company that I do. But they've given me 53 days to rectify this. And I don't know if they're going to send my money back to Patreon. I don't even know if that's an option, so that I can then have it back through PayPal, or if my money just goes up in smoke or what. So 53 days was about 15 days ago. So I still have plenty of time, but I did stress this to the bank when I rang them and just was like, and they were like, oh gosh, you've not been paid. Okay, we will put a rush on this. And it's like, great, thank you. Because I mean, genuinely, it's like adding a name. I mean, if I was good at like Photoshop, I'd probably do it myself. But yeah, there was a reason for me going off on that rant. Oh, right. So my next year's bullet journal, I've already set up all of the months, which I've set up every single day in my bullet journal. Now I need to decorate it. And I've already designed everything on Canva. Last year I tried doing it with washi tape and I didn't like how it came out, and I'm not overly pleased with this year's bullet journal, and I'm using it but I'm not loving it. So I've gone for a B5 this time. I'm not overly enthused with this one as well because I'm having to do one page on one week on one page, whereas last time I could have a 2-page spread for a week. But because of the size of this one, it's not as thick as the other one. So when I get paid, I am going to buy myself a HP printer and sign up for the HP ink thing where you get like 100 pages a month for £5 or something, and they monitor it. I might need to sign up for a slightly higher one for the first month and then drop down if I'm allowed to do that. But it comes with 2 months free ink as well. And it's 50 quid, so it's not expensive. But I do need to wait till I get paid because, you know, food and bills and stuff come first, and all of the extravagant stuff I've got to wait for. I was looking last night. It's really probably really boring story, isn't it? But I, a couple of years ago, bought some traveler's notebook inserts from a company called the Citrus Book Bindery, and these are great. And like, I've got one in my diary at the moment that I've had in there for 2 years, and the paper is so nice and sturdy that I can use my friction pens on it and like rub out lists and then rewrite over it. And I've done that multiple times, which is why that notebook has lasted as long as it has. It's got leaves on it, which is why I'm trying to like prolong its life as much as possible. This one. I got it from Etsy, and I looked last night because I was just like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy this notebook for only having 1 page for a week. I'm used to having more. So I looked on their website last night, and oh my goodness, I fell down this giant rabbit hole. And I've already set this one up and I've already drawn this one out completely. So I don't want to not use this one. But this company, Citrus Book Bindery, do custom made notebooks, and they do one with 140 GSM paper, which is slightly lighter weight than this one, but it's this paper which I love, as I've said. And they will do a chunky book, they call it, which has got 288 pages in it. And they will do dot grid paper, and they'll do any color paper you like, and they will round the corners, and they'll put on stitching onto the binding, and they will put a pen loop in for you, and they'll put metal corners on it, and then you can pick what cut thing you want on the front. And the book that I've picked, I've gone for B5 with 288 pages, so this size. This is A5. It's £88 including VAT. But for something that I use every single day, obviously it wouldn't fit in this traveler's notebook cover, but they do, these are £8.40, these inserts, so I probably get a couple more of those, so I had them in this. For something I use every single day, I don't think £88 is too bad. Like last year I bought myself shoes for Christmas, and mum was like, why are you buying yourself shoes? Like, you know, like, you've got so many shoes. And I was like, I know, but I don't have a boyfriend to buy a Christmas present for this year. And I don't have a boyfriend to buy me a Christmas present this year. So I'm going to buy myself a Christmas present and spend the money that I would have spent on my ex on me. So I bought myself 2 pairs of regular choice shoes for Christmas last year, the boots and the little green tweed shoes. I've worn the boots, but I haven't worn the green tweed shoes yet. I need to make an outfit to go with those. Angela Clayton did a whole video. I'm sorry, I'm going off a massive tangent, just rambly words, and I'm way behind with the chat, but you guys seem to be chatting amongst yourselves as well, so that's fine. So I'm just going to carry on rambling because this is good for my mental health. Yeah, Angela Clayton does videos where she makes outfits to match her irregular choice shoes. There's those Trixie unicorn ones in turquoise and gold. They're like £300 on eBay. I'm probably never going to get those, but so pretty. Anyway, what was I saying? So I was going to buy myself a pair of Nick of Times in orange because I actually think they'd be incredibly versatile in my wardrobe. I have quite a lot of things that they would go with, and they were actually something that I had put on my Christmas list with my ex from this year. But I'm thinking that I might spend that money on that notebook, which might sound ridiculous, and I can't do it yet. Because again, I haven't been paid and I'm still waiting to get paid. So I haven't got any like spare money to do. And I've already set this one up completely. And I'm going to use this one for next year. But I think I'm going to buy myself the Citrus Bookbindery £88 because that's VAT, postage, and the book itself. The book itself was £66 or something, then VAT on top, which is 20% value added tax. Which I'm kind of a bit annoyed that they don't include that in the original price, because when I was like 66 quid, I was like, oh, that's expensive, but that's good. But then when it came up to being like, the tax was like nearly 20 quid, it was like, oh, but they should just put it in. We know we have to pay it. We know it's included. They should just put it in there. But I'm thinking that because it's such a big book, this one was really easy to set up, and it's not going to be difficult to set that one up, but it's not going to be something that I get done before January with all the other stuff that I have to do. So using this one for next year is a really good plan. But I love planning and I love making those kinds of things. And I don't often feature those videos on the channel, but I do it. And I was thinking that because it would be such a big book, it might be a good idea to start doing it early on in the year and getting it set up for 2025, which I know, I mean, bonkers. I'm aware. I'm aware I sound crazy, but it's something that I enjoy doing. Like this would be completely, I started this in July. This would be completely done now if I had a printer that worked. So I'm thinking I'm going to treat myself to that for Christmas. It's going to be my Christmas present to myself. Like it, shoes as well. And then start setting it up over the year. And maybe start doing the monthly planning sessions with me as well again. Maybe I think it works in my head. That makes sense. It's something that I really want. I know that I can't get it in time for this year, but this one, as I say, I've already like literally set up all of the pages. All it needs is decorating. And I did think about setting this one up and then giving it away as a giveaway. And I'm not 100% ruling that out, but I don't know if I'd have time to set the new one up in time for January. What do you guys think? I've just literally been waffling at you, but yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think I should set this one up and give it away and then do the other one more traditionally rather than setting up the whole year in advance? Because I know sometimes I just get bored and that doesn't happen. Or should I buy the expensive one, set it up for 2025 and use this one myself? Because there's only a couple of pages in here. This is going to be great for a sewist because we've got fabric bought, items made, we've got alterations, we've got big project pages. The only one that's probably not make 9. The only one that's probably not going to be necessary is the sewing retreat page, because I mean, maybe if you go to a sewing retreat page. But we've got 5 hits and misses. Then we've got favorite days, holidays and trips, books and movies, year in review, and then it goes into the monthly calendars, which there is a week on one page, and then when there's room for notes, and then the beginning of each calendar month has like the month of review, and then this was going to be my running task list for the month that I would then tick off and put the date when I finished it. So it is kind of sewing themed, and the decorations I've picked are really pretty. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll do this as a giveaway. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, let's catch up with the chat because I've literally just sat here and verbally vomited at you for quite a lot, haven't I? Sorry. Joker Clee says, I'm going to crash, so no pineapple jokes without a drinking game. Keep seeing pineapples come up in the chat. And it was like, I didn't start it. It wasn't me this time. Jessica says, thumbs up, peeps, and good night. Thank you for joining us, Jessica. Jojo says to Gin and Pins, ooh, I love a good niddy noddy, but not come across a nostopin before. Must investigate. Darcy says, Joker Cleese, I will maintain the pineapple tradition. Nice. Joker Cleese says to Darcy, thanks, I'm depending on you. Sikaya's sewing closet says, good morning from Detroit. Good morning. I probably said your name completely incorrectly. I'm so sorry. Jessica says, nostopins are great for winding small balls of wool. On my husband made me a couple of mini ones. Nice. Jojo says, pineapple in honor of Joker Cleese and the need for sleep. We got your back, my dude. Darcy says, I knew what a niddy noddy was, but a nostrapin. Oh, did I read it? No, it's a mystery. Pin says, I saw a K-pop idol falling asleep on a live stream, got millions of views. Can you imagine just me curled up in the fabric? If I just took all the fabric out, made a big pile on the floor, I went to sleep. Elena says, did you remember that next year has an extra day? It starts on a Monday, already feels cursed. I don't think I did. Did I? Yes, no, I did, because I used my 29. I used my phone calendar to set it all up. So I haven't completely bollocksed up the entire setup for this. Oh dear, that could have been hilarious. And it starts on a Monday, already feels cursed. I don't mind Mondays. Mondays are my day off though. When I give myself a day off, it tends to be a Monday. And Caroline says, I have HB ink and you can change levels really easily. Oh, cool. Thank you for the knowledge. Darcy says, February is entertaining. The leap year day has been very long plot device for comedy. Tangent is good. Yes. Jen and Pin says, the nostopin is used to wrap yarn into a center pull ball so you can ply a single on itself. The niddy noddy is used to make the yarn into skeins. Interesting. Darcy says, himself has said that maybe we should ask his parents for a printer for Christmas. I want to tune up for my tricycle. Christmas presents are a challenge. I've always maintained that Christmas presents should be frivolous and things that you wouldn't necessarily just buy yourself. My ex did not have that view at all. He was really strange. Like, I would buy him the latest game that came out that he wanted to play, and he wouldn't buy it himself early because it was expensive. And if you left it a couple of years, the price would go down by about 20 quid. And for me, that was totally fine. But for me, buying him the game was like a way of spoiling him, because he would never have bought that for himself at that price. So it was a treat. It was a spoiling thing. And he was just like, oh, I'd rather you didn't. And it was like, but you want to play the game. And we had very different outlooks on life. I'm wondering why we didn't realize this sooner, but yeah. Anyway, says Etsy is actually doing a prepaid tax and customs for buyers in different countries, so it can't be added in by the sellers. Oh, this was on their private website. They were their own, but yeah, interesting to know. Some smaller companies don't handle their international sales directly anymore, preferring to have Etsy do the work despite the cut that they're taking. Oof, yeah. Darcy says, do I own a nostopine? I have a ball winder that use with my Swift to make center pull balls from skeins. Get the one for next year. Keep the one that you have set up for yourself, Sean. I might do. The trouble with this one is that there's not a lot of room in it. and that's because this one has 190 pages, so that's how I ended up, and I'm filling up every week. She says opening to a week that doesn't really have very much going on it, but like I'm filling up every week, so I don't know, I'm kind of wanting more space. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Gin and Pin says, keep the one you have set up and then spend time setting up the 2025 one with no pressure. Yes. Nimori says, and buying yourself a gift you will enjoy and find helpful every day of the year. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I think it's a good 88 quid is a lot of money for a notebook. But it's actually going to be a diary, like a planner. So I'm thinking it's handcrafted. I love that as well. They make them all to order. Yeah, and I do really like the quality and style of their paper and stuff. So yeah. And like I say, these are £8.24 for this size. So I think what I'm going to do is buy another couple of these to use in my traveler's notebook cover, so that I've got like 4 in here. Because at the moment I've got the one that's nearly full. I've got a lined journal that is really cute, but it's really scrappy notes, and then my actual diary. But obviously my new diary, as I say, I went for B5, which is why I thought it was acceptable to have a week on each page, because it was bigger. But there's not a lot of room in here. So I think that plus a couple of these notebooks, and then the pretty one for 2025 is a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Linnea is here. Hello, calendars today. Just ordered my own personalised one. Nice. Yes, my hotel, all of them have arrived. Mum and Dad's and mine. Right, Ralph says pineapple, drink. And Darcy says Shan is sleeping in her fabric hoard is a visual I need. Natalie says Gin and Pins, are you talking about Jungkook from BTS? Michelle says, in Bermuda, the lady I asked to do a baby quilt quoted me $850 per quilt. You were a steal at £450. Yeah, I mean, I was doing it, like, that was my friends and family discounted rate. As I say, it was just for my time with no profit on it whatsoever. And they were horrified. So, yeah, this is why I just don't want to do commissions anymore. Because Carolyn says, my mum bought the first HP printer. She always wanted to buy something we would never buy ourselves. Ah, nice. And Jenny Pin says to Natalie, yes, the BTS army are insane though. And Kaika Sewing Closet says, have you ever thought about making your own notebooks? Yes, I do make my own books. I know this is like a photo album, but yes, I make my own books. I have an entire wall of paper crafting stuff behind me. I have made more like proper notebooks, but they are hidden at the moment back there. For the amount of daily use, and I mean, I suppose I could. The type of books that I make are not the kind of binding that is used for these books. And by the amount of time and cost that it would take to make one of these myself, these prices were really, really good, because these Otagami ones were like 15 quid. I think 11, 15 pounds for this, which is really lovely. It's 160 GSM paper. It's beautifully made. And my other one is held up really well. And this is my third Otagami. I'd love Archer and Olive ones, but I can't find anywhere in the UK that sells all of the options, and the shipping from America is just too expensive. It could be Canada. I'm sorry if it is. So yeah, these Otagami ones I really like. But yeah, I do make my own books, just not very frequently. And for the amount of use that it gets, I don't think I would be able to make one that would hold up as well. So maybe. I really like watching Nerdforge. Have you guys seen her latest video? Making all the Wheel of Time books into one big giant book. But she does bookbinding and makes them look amazing. So maybe. Natalie says, Gin and Pins, why are there odd elements in every fandom? That's why I really don't consider myself army. That's why I really don't consider myself army. Michelle's here. Hello. Hi. Long time no see. Darcy says, people who are used to Walmart prices are shocked by the price of actual labour and quality materials. Every artist I have ever worked with undervalued their work. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's one of those things, isn't it, that we do. And then when you price it fairly, you get told that it's way too expensive and no one's ever going to pay that amount of money for things. Yeah. I've done no fabric destashing, have I? Let's put you up on the... I've just been waffling all morning. Let's put you up on here. I got the stand out so that you weren't like looking up my nose, because nobody wants to see that. Right. Okay. I've made a mess already, so let's tidy up the mess that I have made so that I don't ruin things, because we don't want that. Let's not squish my pattern. I spent hours last night puzzling over. Got my cutlery set down here so that I can make myself my pencil case for it. I thought I ought to bring it down and measure it to make sure that I was getting the right size pencil case. There's nothing worse than making one that's going to be the wrong size. That would not be good, would it? Okay, let's put this away. Okay. I know this one's going to go. I think I've got a bag over there as well of fabric. But this one's gorgeous. It's a cotton poplin. I made some pajamas earlier out of it. I had the red stripe. This is the lavender stripe. I do really like this one. It was from Minerva Crafts. It wasn't cheap, and there's 5 meters of it. That's the other thing. I kind of want to price them for the amount I bought them for. Is that stupid? Let's have some medicinal chocolate whilst we think about that. Nearly moved my mouth. I'm doing so well today. Darcy says, morning, Michelle. Natalie says, for the record, I didn't watch him sleep. Nimoy says, yay, all caught up on weaving in the ends on my top to-go project. Now I can do some actual crochet. Nice. Aaron says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning. Yeah, this one's going to go. This one, I don't know what to do about this one. It's absolutely stunning. It is silk velvet Devore. I bought this to make a wrap dress with some light blue satin underneath of it. Let's get that out. Okay, I need the last piece of medicinal chocolate, then we're going to get it out. Okay. What's the time? Can I have chocolate? Oh! The answer is yes. Drugs. Honestly, this stuff is so good. Okay, 2 seconds. Okay, right. So, there was a designer dress. Is this one of my blues? It's not. I think it's probably more dual toned, but I like it. But there was this designer dress that I had before Pinterest existed. I used to cut images out of fashion magazines and save them in a notebook, which I don't have anymore. Made in Spain. Interesting. Made in Spain, bought in Saudi Arabia, as was the velvet. Yeah, I used to have like a book that I would, it basically be my Pinterest board. And there was this designer dress that was a wrap dress. So you could just see like you could see the underlay color coming out. This is definitely not my grey. I don't know what to do about this one because the fabric is absolutely beautiful and it was expensive. But again, it's going to be an evening dress, so I obviously would have makeup on with this one. So, like, you know, one of the pieces of advice that Nicola gave was Nicola gave was like, if you love the fabric, make the dress up, wear it anyway. Just wear it with makeup, like full makeup, and away from the neckline, and just accept that it's not going to be your best color, but you're still going to look lovely in it because you feel lovely in it. What do I do? Read the chat. Let's see what you guys say. Darcy says, price them for cost, especially when they are when they're not available any longer. Yeah, I think I'm going to ask for what I paid for them. I think that's, I mean, I'm not asking to make a profit. And if it's the right length, then yeah. Oh, people are having issues with the sound. Is the sound not working? It seems to be fine from my end. I'm not getting any of the warning signs saying your internet connection is low or you're having a problem. Nimue says you could always price to recoup what you paid first, see if it's desirable enough for somebody to buy it at that price. If it doesn't go in a set time frame, ask for less. True. Gin and Pin says, I remember you being so excited about getting the lavender stripe with the strawberry fabric. I don't like to think how long ago that was. It was ages ago. I love the I do love it. I really love it. I don't know. Like, I'm actually thinking I'm going to give my PJs that I made out of the red fabric to my friend for Christmas. I've never worn them other than for the twirl. Oh, words are hard. Yeah, I've never worn them, and I probably won't, even on Christmas Day, if I'm honest. I'm making a Christmas Day dress that might happen to be this pattern because I love this pattern, and it's comfy and feels like secret pajamas, even though it looks quite good if I do say so myself. So yeah. Darcy says, "Oh, true apothecary drugs are quick." Yes, let's hope these ones work as quickly. Linda says, "Good afternoon, peeps. Is it just me or are you breaking up?" Linnea says, "Bad Wi-Fi." Mary Ellen says, "My audio has gone bad." Darcy says, "Everything's good here." Natalie says, "No issues for me." Nimoy said, "I had some stumbles in the stream, but it's running fine again now." Lena says, "Everything is fine on my end." Linda says, "We can't hear you, hon." Darcy says, "Try reloading the stream, peeps." Romana says, "I restarted YouTube, now working fine again." Linda says, "Refresher," and that sorted it. Awesome. Gin and Pin says, "Did have a wobble on visuals, but and sound occasionally breaking up, but then getting better again." Linnea says, "It's still bad sound on my end." We don't have any rain, but we do have wind. But like I said, I'm not getting any of the notices that say the connectivity is bad. I'm sorry you're having problems. Catherine says, "Afternoon all." Good afternoon. Rotten Rouse says, "Secret pajamas are fantastic." Yes. Yeah. Linnea says, "Now it's working." Yay. Awesome. What do we think about the grey silk Devore fabric, peeps? Because the other one that I'm thinking about getting rid of, and this might shock some of you, because I went to such great lengths to purchase more of it. Oh, come on. I'm just making a mess. Ugh. Well, actually, on this one as well. Oh, I'm just making a mess. Right, this one is some amazing pansy print fabric that is actually a super king size bed set. Mum bought it from Harrods. It was ridiculously expensive, like 20 years ago. I think she paid £500 for it. It's beautiful. I love the print, but it's not the right colours for me at all. I was thinking about doing the walkaway dress in it because there's the two different colours. Or maybe it is the right colours for me. It obviously has been, oh, hang on. It's been thoroughly washed. Maybe I'm talking myself back into this. Oh, I think I might be talking myself back into it. It's not really coming up on camera, but that bottom colour is pretty identical. And then that one, that peachy colour. Oh, I don't know. This is it's going horribly wrong. I'm falling back in love with everything that I'm getting out. Ah, dear. Darcy says secret pajamas are fantastic. Yes. Linnea says now the sound's working. Yay. Jojo says me. Yes, that much is a silly amount for a planner, but I'll just check out the website, you know, just to be nosy. At this point, reader, she knew she made a terrible, terrible mistake. I told you. I told you. But 288 pages of 140 GSM weight paper, B5, so big, that is going to be something that I use daily. I don't think that's a bad price. In fact, I think it's a very good price for what it is. So yeah, this one, I don't know. But then I'm thinking about selling my parrots because they're on a dark charcoal grey background, and I love the dress that I made last time, but there were so many tiny little errors in it that I noticed that I've never worn it, and it's too small for me now anyway. So I was thinking, do I sell this? Ideally, because I felt better about that dress messing up because I went back and bought 3 more panels. So there's £120 of fabric here, as in that's how much I paid for this. So I would not let this go for, I would not sell this for less than I paid for it. No way. But they do have it on a white background. I really feel like messaging Stitch Fabrics and just saying, you know that white parrot you've got there, do you want to swap for the grey one? I'm crazy. I am crazy. I'm crazy. Look at that little dude. This was a half panel, so I didn't just cut him in half like this willy-nilly. But he's very big, so he does kind of have to be a high neckline. Oh, I don't know. I was convinced I was going to get rid of a load of fabric, and now I'm just talking myself back into loving them all, which is not helpful. The stripes, I do love the stripes. I don't think I'm going to wear the stripes. Maybe I'll destash one fabric. I have issues, we know this. We know this. We know this. We know this. Mim says, hi Sean, how are you? Very fake. I'm good, how are you? Jojo says, no issue with sound here, lovely. Oh, I'm glad some of you are experiencing a decent amount of like connectivity, and I'm sorry for the ones that are not. Aaron says, I love your cuddly green sweater. It is good. It's a Hortencia, which I don't think is available anymore. But yes, I do like this one. Although I am thinking about asking Mum for another one in this colour, but one of the cable ones, because she enjoys knitting those, and this one is getting a little bit bobbly. Probably just need to debobble it. It's kind of more bobble than anything else at this present moment in time. I have got a debobbler, so I probably ought to do that. I need to do a day of maintenance on my sweaters and stuff, don't I? That would be sensible. Rottenrow says, you loved it when you were collecting it, so you shouldn't be surprised about falling in love with it again. This is true. This is true. I do think I've narrowed this down. I have got a bag over there that's stuffed to DeStash. I do think I've narrowed this down to things that I genuinely love and want to keep. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of anything. Except maybe for the stripy strawberries. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. don't know. I don't know. I'm going to sit down again. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling today. And I did sleep last night. I am in a little world of my own, so yes, my pile of stuff that needs to get done. Ugh, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. We can do this. We can do this. Jojo says, use the Harrods bedding as a colourful lining for darker and similar garments. It'll be so luxe next to the skin with the thread count. Yeah, it's like ridiculously high thread count. It does feel amazing. It's like that other sheet that ended up with holes in it, so I started cutting it apart. Mum was like, you should have just darned the holes. But oh my gosh, that was the most luxurious lining I've had in some of my clothes ever. Oh, so good. So good. Darcy says, you can do this on a day with little less pain, therefore more spoons. DeStash one length of fabric is more than doing none. Yeah, I have put it back in the cupboard, but I am gonna sell that one, I think. I need to try and remember how much I paid for it. It was a cotton poplin. I think it was £10 a meter. It might have been more. Probably ought to go back and look at the video and see, or go back in my Minerva account and have a look if they still keep the records that far back. Darcy says, bring the debobble for the Peeps stream. Oh yeah. Jojo says, could you use, lol, missed off the first half of that sentence. Oh, okay. Not just use. Could you use? Words really are hard. Words are hard. How are you getting on over on Citrus Bookbindery? Do you see what I mean? I've picked one of the kind of like marble in the blues and pinks and turquoises with silver binding. Mine, I know it should be gold. Maybe I should go back and have a look and see if they've got a blue gold version, but it's not pretty. Yeah, and then I'm struggling with the sorry, I'm all about paper crafting today. Fabric is not holding my attention. I'm all about paper crafting. Yeah, I'm having a hard time deciding between sort of like Starry Night and Starry Night, turquoisey, marbly kind of colours, like the one that I showed you, or they have one that's got flowers all over it, and then another one with mushrooms all over it, and then one with a sailing ship on it. So it's very kind of like brown, earthy aesthetic. And I really like that one as well. But that makes me think, oh, I really want the steampunk clock traveler's notebook cover from El Row here, leather, which I do not need. I do not need it, but I want it. They also have River Song's TARDIS shaped notebook as a cover option. I want all the things. I want all the things. Let's see. Where did I get to with the chat? Rachel then says, good morning. Good morning. Nimue says, you definitely don't sound like you're having a DeStash day. It just takes the right headspace and sometimes you're just not there. I know. I know. I know. I think there's fabrics back there that I'm like attached to, that if I got rid of them, I would be sad. But honestly, if I didn't think about it for a while, I'd forget about them. So yeah. Elena says it's card making season, so paper crafting is on point. It is. I have the two cards. I've got my pop-up card and the flowers with the buttons, the button flower. I know what I mean. Over there. Oh dear. Darcy says, I will happily buy the lavender and strawberry fabric. Himself will be confused, but he will adjust. Let me know what you think you need it for. Silly Shan. Yeah. Nimoy says, my current stationary spending contemplation is rebuying my fountain pens, one for blue, one for black. I let them sit too long and can't get them to flow nicely again, but want to use them again. Oh, that sucks. Mum has a super fancy fountain pen. One that you have to suck ink up. Doesn't take the cartridges. I remember the cartridges used to get so messy. I always had turquoise ink if I could get it. Rachel then says, sounds fine now, but I have a bit of a problem, but it's good now. Everybody seems to be having problems today, Rachel, and it's not just you. I'm sorry it's being a pain. Darcy says, mushrooms. I know, it's really cute. It's really cute. And it would totally go with my blue seagrass leather traveler's notebook. But it kind of makes me want the brown one. But I've wanted the brown one for ages. Linnea says, ooh, Doctor Who themed. Absolutely go for that. I know. Jojo says, shush, Ixnay on the citrus book bindery. Long-suffering husband is back in the room. No way, Starry Night is in my basket right now. There's a reason we're friends, considering the River Song one too. I love the River Song one. Yeah. Elena says, next one is still in pieces on the crafting table. Oh. Carol's here. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. What shall I? I'm not in the right headspace to destash fabric, obviously, because at the moment I'm just like, no, it's all mine, my precious. I have picked my fabric for my Make 9 next year. That one. That's where it's all going to stem from. So roses will be getting done next year, as will Anaconda Antithesis. You guys have seen my collection plans for that already. I've worked out the extra fabrics that I need to buy to make this collection work the way that I want it to. It's going to be around about £200 for the extra pieces, which is actually quite a lot of money, obviously, but not that bad. I thought that was that's going to give me another like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's fabric for 10 other items, which are not stuff that I have in my stash. I really like this brown spot, but I really want a yellow spot as well, and some solid yellow. And I think that will just tie this whole thing in really, really well and make all of the pieces work really well together. So, and I need to buy some Spectrum Lotus lining as well, for the Paul Smith pieces. And the Darley Dale denim. So I need probably 8 or 9 meters of that. So I might as well just buy the 10-meter bolt that I can get wholesale from Lady McElroy. So yeah, I'm hoping for a good Vlogmas, because that's what I'm going to splurge on, to start the first 3 months of the year with this collection, which I'm really excited about. The most expensive fabric is that Minerva Sweater Knit at £30 a meter. I want 2 of them, and I want 1.5 meters of each. So, but I do think that those pieces will tie in with everything else. So I think they're going to be worth it for the amount of use that they would get. So, yeah. Catherine says, all my pens, I have 7 in circulation, take bottled ink only, no cartridges. 4 TWSBI and 3 Pelican. Ooh, nice. Mum's is a Mont Blanc. She got it as her leaving gift from the hospital when she left the hospital in Riyadh. Natalie says, roses, yay, I know. So yeah, so my plans for next year is 3 months on this collection, 3 months on that collection, 3 months on that collection, and then this is going to be my winter collection next year, this one. because I'm going to make my green cashmere wool coating in the Vogue coat pattern and make it go in around this collection here, the foliage canopy fabrics. That's the plan. And I'm not going to let it, I mean, I'm not going to let it spiral like I did Cobra Corsage, because I was trying to do Cobra Corsage. What's so hard? Cobra Corsage, Anaconda Antithesis, Lemons, and Roses. I wanted to do that in 2022, and then, you know, heartbreak. And so Cobra Corsage dragged on for 6 months, and it was not what I intended at all. So this time round, I want to try and give 3 months to these things, and I think I can do it. There are 36 garments planned in this, which is a lot, but at least 12, if not 15 of them are t-shirts and jersey dresses, which I will be able to do in 2 weeks, because it's all patterns that I love. Some of them are going to have some twists on them, but it's all patterns that I love. And I mean, I can sew this up in, what, 3 hours? And there's four of those. 4 of the fabrics, so there's going to be 4 of these. Words are hard. So yeah, you know, 36. So minus, let's say 15. So that's 16 garments that are not that are woven. So I think I can do it. There are some new ones in there. There are some tweaks on ones. And I do think that the collection itself is going to be really interchangeable and cohesive. And I want to start it in January and February, because my capsule collection, the 5 pieces that Nicola and I talked about, are she's coming back in February to style them. And Nimue pointed this out as well, but I know what I'm like. I'm going to want to wear the new stuff that I've made, and that's what I want to work on next year. That's what I'm really excited about. And so the floral fabric that I've picked, I'm going to swap it out for the yellow viscose polka dot, because that is way more flexible with this, and it will give me the type of shirt that I want, or shirt dress that I want. Whereas the Anaconda Antithesis fabrics I have, none of those are floaty enough for the sleeves of the shirt dress that I want. And if it was a summer collection, that would be fine, but it's not. It's a winter collection. So also those colors are perfect for a winter collection, in my opinion. And bright pops of yellow are just going to make it work really well. So yeah. And then whatever I make up in March, because I'm challenging myself to only, because Nicola's going to pick a capsule wardrobe from to go with the 5 pieces that I make that we planned. I'm going to challenge myself to only wear from that capsule wardrobe in March, but then I will be sewing a couple more things to add into that capsule wardrobe, so that I can still wear them in March. So that's going to make the challenge work for me, and it's going to mean that I can wear the new things that I'm making, because, like I say, Nimue pointed that out. If I challenge myself to only wear certain things for a month that I then can't wait wear the new things that I'm making, then I will be upset. So yeah. Let's see. Carol says, put the fabrics that are possible destashes in a box or a bag staging area. Then in a determined time, do the destashing. You don't have to do all the thinking now. Yeah, I actually was thinking maybe I would do it after, like, literally, I said earlier I was going to try and put it on my website that I was launching in December. And I'm now thinking, do you know what? That's a really bad idea, because December's already massively busy. Why don't you do it in January when you have lots more time? I think I might do that. Yeah. I already have a bag over there that I've done exactly that with, that I've put fabrics away in. And there's one that I miss that I want back. At least I think I could do. It's on the top as well. So I'm undestashing fabrics. It's this one. I really like it. It's a Moda print. I mean, of course I really like it. I bought it. Summer Breeze 4 by Moda. And I bought enough to make a little cropped tie front shirt. And it's got my yellows and blues in it. And it's on a navy background, which is a colour that is in my colour wheel. These are darker yellows. Definitely got the blues and the greens. These are slightly darker yellows, but I do think they're warm, so I think I might keep this one. I'm doing really well at destashing, and fabric has made it out of the destash pile and back into the stash. But I actually think that this would work in really well with that, would it? Maybe? Maybe not. We'll put it in the top baking pile. Oh, this was another one I was thinking about destashing. Having worked out with Nicola how I can keep it and make it work for me. It's all trying to attack me. I love this. I genuinely love this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It was incredibly, well, it was £18 a metre, which is why I only have 2 meters of it. I got it from Truro Fabrics, and my friend bought it for me. It's a cotton sateen. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. And like I say, my best friend bought this for me. With what if I had more, I would keep it and make myself a full skirted dress, but I only have 2 meters, and I don't think I'd be able to get the kind of dress that I like out of it. Having said that, maybe the Grace dress would work for it, because Jojo and I, when she was here, we were playing around with like a 1.5 meter fabric that we could get the Grace dress out of. So I don't know. That's another one. I've had it for years now, and it's beautiful. It really is. And I'm so grateful to my friend for buying it for me. But I just, like I say, because it was expensive, I've only got 2 meters. And I just think that I don't think I'd be able to make a dress that I love out of it with the amount that I have. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Like, my sister-in-law might like that one, so I might see if she wants it. Or I might try and sell it. Like I say, £18. So what's that? Like £36. Is that right? My brain hurts. Oh dear. Oh dear. Let's see. Darcy says, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. We're doing all the Shakespeare today. Darcy says, I'm tired of making just underpinnings, but I need them so I can make the pieces to go over them. Yeah. Nimoy says, I like the super typical Lame fountain pens. I can get them with super fine tip, which is much nicer for my narrow handwriting. So replacing them isn't even that just expensive, just feels wasteful. Darcy says, I miss my Bic fountain pens. Elena says, Sean, would you think when would you think about fabric that is bright yellow with a pattern of pink monstera leaves? Yellow and pink. I'd have to see it. I would have to see it. My TWSBI, I'm sure that's an acronym for some, or the initials for something, are relatively cheap, under 100. They start at 35, so I've given them to my sister, niece, and nephew for birthdays this last year. Nice. Rotten Ralph says, Elena, post the fabric on the Peeps group. I want to see the pretty fabric. Elena says to Darcy, we'll share with you privately later. It's partly Christmas related. Darcy says, all right, Elena, I'm just going to give me the pretty. My brain is selfish for the dopamine hit of pretty. Conchetta says, super pretty fabric. Hi, everyone. Hello. Sue says, ooh, wouldn't that make an 8177? Which one? The blue flowers? I've only got like a meter of it. Elena says, feather fabric. Love it. Yeah. I do too. Like I said, that's why I asked my friend for it for my birthday. Catherine says, I think it's actually the brand name. I think Twisby. Oh, I did not know that. Twisby. Nice. I don't know. I do think this is something that I ought to do in January, though. I think that realistically, I don't have time this next couple of weeks to, not even months now, is it? Package everything and get everything out in a timely fashion for anyone that bought anything. I really do think maybe I ought to do this in January. I think that would probably be a better idea, wouldn't it? Let's see. April says, good morning from Massachusetts. Good morning. Elena says to Darcy, I know that brain, please. Nimoy says, there are so many colours in that feather print. Might it be a candidate for something colour blocked? Possibly. I'm just really struggling to think what I would do with it that would then get worn. I don't know. I think maybe kind of putting the ones that I am thinking about in a pile and thinking what I mean. Let's see. Darcy says, neurodivergent Shakespeare is my broken brain response to an attempt to partake in the conversation. I love it. I love it. I love that I've recognized the quotes so far as well. Darth Kenobi one says Twisby is pronounced Twisby to save you spelling it every time. Thank you. Sue Hall says feather. Jojo says the Grace dress mashup would really work, and being Grace, the black base is away from your face. That said, the print would look fab on Nia too. Lol, it would. Darcy says don't overdo it. Nicholas is lining. No, it's a cotton sateen. It's too heavyweight and thick and not slippery enough for any kind of a lining for anything that I would line it with. And I only have 2 meters. Caroline says, like the stream, Peeps. Yes, there's 97 of us and 53 likes. Catherine says the bodice, sleeves, and skirt of the princess coat are now all together. Oh, exciting. That's so exciting. Guys, I am struggling today. I am going to put you out of your misery of listening to me like randomly waffly disappear off onto tangents. Sue says 8177 with no sleeves, only 2 meters, feather cotton sateen. 8177 with no sleeves is the one that I use, and I need at least 4 meters for those ones. Yeah, for the length that I like and the skirt. I don't ever put sleeves on my 8177s, and I know the skirt panels I would not get out of that amount of fabric. No. But I like how you think. If I had enough, possibly. I like how you think, though. Anyway, yes. Caroline says to Catherine, look forward to seeing it on Wednesday. Yes. Sue says done. Oh, done. Yes. No, there's only 2 meters, and it needs at least the pattern says 5, but it does need at least sort of 4.5. But that probably would have been something that I would have made with that, and then probably would have worn, but no. But yeah, I'm struggling. Nicola says, sorry, missed fabric type. You really didn't. I think I've shown you like 4 fabrics and I haven't destashed any of them. Sue says it is a shorter version I looked at. Yeah, I don't like that length on me. I don't like that length on me. Yeah, I'm going to call it a day because I'm struggling a lot. The drugs are not working. But never mind. Never mind. It is not the end of the day. End of the day. End of the world. Weather really hard. Depending on how I feel, there might be an impromptu hangout tomorrow night because this one has been a bit of a shambles, hasn't it? Depends how I feel though, but I might do a little bit of an impromptu hangout tomorrow evening. So not promising, but keep your eyes peeled for that because that could be fun. But yeah, I must say go rest. I'm going to go, I think, go rest. I do really need to cut that skirt out, but I think I'm going to go and have a lie down and listen to my book and see how I feel in a bit because, ow. So there will be the hangout for this Patreon Peeps $10 and $15 tiers on Wednesday. I have scheduled it this time. Brilliant photo of Chiana, like absolutely amazing photo of Chi for that. She is beauty, she is grace. Yeah, so that is scheduled and happening on Wednesday. There should be the Holston video on Tuesday, but I was going to do the Holston skirt and the waistcoat as separate videos. I think I still probably will do that. So maybe the Holston skirt will come out on Friday. And then Tuesday is probably going to be a pattern destash because I think I need to go through my tops collection because I think it could be quite interesting to have a look at that selection and just be like, okay, yeah, these are a bunch of tops, but if I just did this, I could make them into dresses and then they'd get worn. So I think that's what Tuesday's video is going to be. And then Wednesday is the Zoom call. Friday will be the Holston skirt. And then Sunday, there will be a hangout where hopefully I will be a little bit more coherent than I have been today. Jojo says, hope you're feeling stronger soon, lovely. Bye all. It's been fab as always. Heart, 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 pineapple, pineapple. Darcy says, go rest, Sean. Nimoy says, have a lovely Sunday and great week, everyone. Rotten Ralph says, we can enjoy the shambles. Caroline says, go rest an hour and see if you can, if you then want to cut out. Natalie says, take care, Sean and Peeps. Fox says, take care. Caroline says, Sedan. Kierden sends snuggles. Thank you, Kierden. Jojo says, beguiling pic of Chi there. Yes. Darcy says, Eliza Bits sends you some sleepy kitty vibes, Sean. Oh, cute. And April says, we'll catch the beginning of the hangout later. And Ashley says, take care. Ashley, sorry I didn't say hi to you, but hello. It was really nice to see you as well. Yes, that's the plan for the week. Let's see how it goes. I will see you all for sure next Sunday live, but possibly tomorrow evening. We'll see how it goes. Okay, bye.